Hello and welcome to today's video. On this channel, we'll be discussing about the UPSC mains preparation as the results are out, and I'll be taking the mains PYQs also and the topic which are contemporary from Hindu and Indian Express and model answers, how to write answers, mentorship, all those things will happen on this channel. So I just need your support and cooperation, and all the serious aspirants should be on this channel. If you're really serious to crack the prelims or mains, should be here. So I'm Pramod Singh. I'm the director of Edge IAS. I've been mentoring aspirants for the last 14 years. Personally, at personal level, I have given 3 mains and 2 interviews when I was an aspirant, and the journey has been tremendous. This year also, successfully, students have done well from our institute, from my own personal mentorship of support, and we have a whole team that is going to put effort. So let's come back to the topic. International Year of Women Farmer 2026. So as per United Nations, they have said that the next year, 2026, will be International Year of a Woman Farmer 2026. So basically, this is also important for prelims examination. So United Nations has said that in the last few decades, or rather we have seen that women are more participating in agriculture, and there is a concept, or you can say phenomena, of feminization of women in agriculture, which means women labor force in women are increasing. For example, even in India, almost 55% of labor force in the agriculture sector are women, but they hold maybe less than 10% of land holding, though various data has different understanding. But on an average, women are participating in the agriculture in terms of economic activity, they're producing, but there are multiple challenges. One is because of the cultural and the societal setup. The second is because of the rules, regulation, legal hurdles. The third is a challenge of climate resilience, and the vulnerability of climate change is also a factor. So let's try and understand that what this article is saying, and in the end we'll discuss mains model answer also, and we'll discuss a question MCQ also. So as per the data, nearly half of the global food supply is made possible by the contribution of women. So the food that we are eating, that is majorly contributed by women. And recently there was an ENACT project in Assam which was implemented in cooperation with the World Food Programme, WFP, of UN, which seeks to empower small farmers, especially in rural areas, backward areas. And the idea is to provide them information, accessibility, support, entrepreneurship, technology, all which way, so that women farmers are able to capitalize their advantage. Now, as we all know that India has a very small land holding. Average land holding in India is 1.07 hectare, and among that, women are holding, as per the agricultural census, 14%. As per the new the National Family Health Service, less than 10% women are the owners of land. So there are multiple challenges which have to be seen. So let's understand the concept of the ownership and control. So as we see here, women contribution, nearly half of the global food supply is contributed by the women, who are responsible for 60 to 80% of food production in the developing and accounts for 40% of the almost 40% of the agricultural labor in the South Asia. In India, it is more than 50%. These figures highlight how vital it is for women to get empowered in the agriculture. But there are barriers which are cultural, economical, legal, that has to be addressed. Now, coming to the data, 80% of the women who are employed in India, they are in agriculture. The land ownership is hardly 14%. In fact, as per the National Family Health Survey, the land ownership has come down to less than 9%, which is 8.39%. Now, these data are important for prelims and mains examination both. Now, coming to what are the challenges faced by women in general? So we all know the societal setup, the patriarchal attitude, and there are multiple issues. For example, because you don't own the land, you cannot get the institutional finance because of the land ownership, and there are legal hurdles also. So if I don't own the land, I cannot give my land in collateral, or I don't have the resources to get the institutional finance, the bank, and the other aspect. The second is limited access to technology. Information gap is there, mostly because of digital lag, or maybe digital divide is there. Women do not have access to the modern technologies, awareness, knowledge, multiple challenges. Because there is lack of credit, there is lack of investment, the technology adoption is slower or limited, and because there is insufficient finance from the microfinance and self-help groups. We do have a concept of microfinance where women are empowered, where they come together through a collective community activity, and they are involved in the self-help groups. However, the challenges are abundant. So these are general challenges faced by the women, and thereby it is very important the government measures should be making an effort. So as per government believes in empowerment of women, and thereby there are skills promotion and sustainable agriculture promotion is there. So first is, we have a very important example, Mahila Kisan Sasaktrikaran Pariyojana, upgrade skills and increase resource access to women. So this is a government scheme. Submission for agricultural mechanism offers 50 to 80% of subsidies for machinery. In fact, that is true in general also. In fact, even in the dairy sector, if women wants to start something, they get that. Even in the MSME sector, women gets empowered because government will incentivize them more. Then National Food Security Mission says 30% of the resources should be allocated for the women farmers. So in totality, we can look at the National Food Security Mission, Sub-Mission for Agricultural Mechanization, and Mahila Kisan Sasaktikaran Pariyojana. Now this is an important scheme which has to be understood. So these are the government measures. But one of the recent challenges in the last maybe a decade or so, especially in the late 90s, in the beginning of 21st century, is the problem of climate change, or you can say climate induced food insecurity, or you can say the agro productivity is getting impacted. So agricultural productivity is getting impacted, and this is basically very challenging because of the climate, the average yield of the crop goes down. Because of the climate factors, there are extreme events, flash floods are there, then there are challenges of drought frequency gets up. In the last few years, we saw the phenomena of El Nino, how it impacted the weakening of the monsoon. Then La Nina, which in fact offers higher rainfall. So the vulnerability is much higher. In fact, Indian agriculture is said to be the gamble of monsoon. And even today, half of India's land is not irrigated, and it depends on monsoon. So, and apart from that, the climate vulnerability is impacting the food security at least. And I have made a video also on this, where the vulnerability is almost 15-20% depending on various crops. So the effect is more on women, because 55% of the women in India, the farm laborers are women. So when agriculture is impacted, when the income from agriculture is impacted because of climate induced factors, so women gets challenges. Also, there are domestic responsibilities. Women have to play a dual role, take care of the housing, income support. Also, more exposure to agricultural risk, which is there. Men, on the contrary, are also there, but because of the stagnation of agricultural income in the last few years or decades, what we have seen is that the men are moving to the urban areas to earn more, and that is also causing a challenge. So distress migration is a phenomenon in rural areas also, and thereby women are left at home to take care of the families as well as the income. So these are the challenges which are there, and climate change is a multiple issue which is there. Then you have ENACT project, as I mentioned, in Assam. This ENACT project is about connect women farmers to experts through information technology, video conferencing, climate adaptation. Information is being given to them where women are told that this climate impact will happen, and that is the agricultural practices you should be following, so that we are more adapted to the challenges. Then there are collaborative effort for state and district administration across. So government schemes, government measure programs along with the UN, if the right information dissemination is there, that support is there, the extension services will make a lot of difference, because it is also about knowing things and doing things at the right time, and that is where women can empower themselves if they get the right input at the right time. Then the second part is, when you are producing, you need to have a market linkage to mitigate the crop damage. So today we have technology, AI apps, we have ENAM, we have we have farmer producer organization which can be linked to women. So those can be promoted, adapted, and created. So that is a aspect. Then promotion of nutritious local varieties. Now this is very important, because we are moving to hybrid crops, and that comes with own challenges. So we can promote nutritious local varieties because they are more adapted to that area and they are nutrition. So they will also help in the nutritional food security aspect. Women farmers group who can community-based smart seed production can be there. So these are the climate adaptation and resilience measures which can be there. So students who are preparing for UPSC, you can note down these points. I'll be sharing this PDF also in general. Then steps to take, the steps which can be taken here is, so by design, the policy and implementation should take care of women needs. That is the first thing. Women tailored solution for financial needs and good practices. So women can be empowered. For example, if women are the landowners, they should be given better loans, or we need to create an alternative of the financing facility even if they don't own the land. So that is where the support has to begin. Develop agri-value chains to support women farmers. So value chain in agriculture should be created. Support women SHG for access to finance and credit. So overall, the focus and onus should be on empowering women And how do you do it? It will hinge on the fact that how well the policy design is women centric. So there is a concept called gender budgeting. So gender budgeting is basically an idea where a part of the budget goes for women empowerment or in the alternative gender or other gender. So it is very important that we focus here. And this concept is old, almost this concept is there since the last 2 decades. So this is again, we have to focus more. Women support groups, women-led schemes are there. So that is the challenge. Now coming to, let's talk about the okay, let's see this question, UPSC prelims question. What are the functions of NABARD? So NABARD is National Agricultural Bank for Rural Development. So it coordinates activities of all institutions involved in the rural financing system. That is right. So NABARD is not only the regulator of regional rural banks, but it also oversees and implements the schemes which are important for rural development. Also, it provides refinance support for building rural infrastructure. Yes, as we mentioned here, it's rural bank, rural development. So rural infrastructure is also area. Infrastructure means irrigation support or a rural based project or conservation project or community-led projects. All that, you can get the support. Then accepting deposits from the public. Well, it is NABARD is it's not a bank. It's technically it's a non-bank. It is NBFI under a category of all India financial institutions. So it is a non-bank. It does not accept deposit from the public. So 3 is out. So you can say 3 is out, and thereby B, that is 1 and 2 is the answer. So even you can eliminate also. Moment you see 3 is out, you can see only B is the answer. So such kind of questions are very simple. UPSC does ask them. Now let's talk about a model question and model answer. So here you have the model answer also. So discuss the challenges faced by women in agriculture in India. Suggest measures taken by government to address them with facts and examples. So you have to tell me the government schemes. So again, you can jot down these points because these points are very very helpful in the mains examination, because I do believe that such kind of questions might come. So women play a vital role in Indian agriculture with 55% of labor force contributing. However, they face numerous structural and socio-economic challenges. The first challenge is the land ownership and the illegal barrier, where just 14% ownership of land is there, patriarchal norms are there. It impacts credit aspect of subsidies, crop insurance. All government schemes are linked with these things. You are a farmer, you need to have a land, so you get government scheme benefit. Now, because you're not a farmer, you don't get. Then limited access to credit and input. That is again the extension of the first point, because lack of formal credit, land titles are not there. Exclusion of the woman in the decision making, because I am not the owner of land. Even though I am using the land, I am not the owner. Okay. Under representation in the cooperatives, water user association and panchayati raj institutions. Even though we have a reservation of 50%, the challenge remains. Then poor working condition. Labor work is drudgery. It is physically demanding task. And there is a lack of gender sensitive tools which have to be created. There are issues of wage disparity, whether it's Manrega or in general. Women get paid less even though they are doing similar or almost same work. Limited access to technology and training. That is a common challenge across. And the health and nutritional burden which is there because of the poor nutrition, because if your income is less, it impacts your food accessibility and security. So what should be the way forwards? There are multiple points. Let's look at it. So promote land ownership and title. For example, in PM Awas Yojana, there is joint title concept. So joint title is there. You simplify the inheritance procedures and raise awareness that women should also be the owner. You improve access to financial services. That means NABARD, self-help groups, Jan Dhan Yojana, Kisan credit card. They can prioritize women. There are women-centric farm mechanization, submission of agricultural mechanization with gender focus. Boost skill training and extension services. So we have Kisan Vigyan Kendra, which can conduct women training specifically. Social security for women. So maternity benefit, wage parity, crèche facilities in rural area, expand maternity benefits, make sure that women get equal wages, health insurance under Ayushman Bharat. So social security to women is very important because agriculture comes with its own vulnerability, and that has to be addressed. Then promote women collectives and cooperatives. Okay, for example, you have in Deen Dayal Upadhyay Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, Mahila Kisan Sashaktikarana Pariyojana under NRLM. It empowered 36 lakh farmers in 24 acres, 24 states in the last few years. Digital and market access, that is also there. So we have specific tools like eNAM, Kisan Suvidha. They can specifically target women and promote women startups and SHGs. an agri-tech platform where government incubation support can be there. So such points can be read multiple times, note down the data and facts, and empower yourself with the good answers. Now, a lot of students say that how to write conclusions. So I've put it to 3 conclusions. So first conclusion is a gender responsive policy to empowering women is for a rural development, inclusive rural development, and national food security. So you can say that we need national food security, and that where women have to be empowered, and they should be in the mainstreaming of the agricultural-led development. India needs to go a long way to develop gender responsive policy by empowering women to attain the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047, which is 35 trillion, and agriculture will play a very important role. Third is agricultural resilience and gender equality is key for fostering economic prosperity and promoting sustainability. So these are the 3 conclusion that can be created, and I have created myself. So you need to think, and because answer writing is a very important part of your preparation for selection. Okay, so thank you very much for liking the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be regular for preparation updates. Take care. God bless you. Bye.